It's Monday, so I think a little bit of varnishing before I get to work. Oh, we've done the bits that only had one coat on, so now two, plus the varnish that was already there. So this top one's wet, but the masking can come off everywhere else. Unfortunately, we've lifted a little bit of paint around the edges. It's another cold, wet, windy winter's day, so I'm not sure what will get done. I have done some shopping, oil filters and oil for an engine oil change, but I want a slightly better day than today. What I can do is remove the last of the masking tape from where we varnished. I see a crane. Hopefully that means that we are going to have a bit of access to the boat. And it's starting to rain.
We need to come after this. So it seems to me like you're pulling it forward, are you, Rick? Yeah.
So Windborne, the ketch over there, has had her masks removed. She was out near us last year. So they're just trying to line the mast step up inside the boat. So she's in place and I'm getting wet, so we'll leave it to it. I'll have lunch now. Let's empty out the engine oil. We're on the port side. Well, the engine oil's remained full. So tube down the dipstick hole, connected to the oil vacuum tank. The oil's now running into the tank. It'll take a while, of course, because it's cold. And we'll pop it down there and wait. Jerry the rigger's over here. Masts are up. Well, after afternoon tea, it is empty. Now to repeat on the starboard side. So that's the one in use, and that one has not been used yet. Here's the engine cooling raw water filter. There's for a bit of mud that we stirred up. Right, here's what I find is the best oil filter remover. And the oil filter is inconveniently located in this installation because it's down there. Fuel filter on the engine, a bit easier to get. On the inboard side of this starboard engine bay, we've got a lot of services, fresh water pump and its accumulator, salt water washdown pump, and here is the manual pump for the holding tank. There's the rudder feedback for the autopilot, and of course we have the diesel hot air heater. Now the basket for the raw water filter is easy to clean. I'll grease the hubs of the Kiwi Props. Just need to take the guard off the end. So we just have the sharp tip. So just there's a hole, so that will grease the hub, and I run out of grease. I'm sure he's very happy to have his mask back up. I'm very happy that I can now get access to the boat. Here's the spars off Windbourne. There's been a scaffold go up around this big girl on the Marine Railway. I've taken out all the rotten joists, which is the vast majority. Here are the two old engines for CATMANTOO. I'm just going to take off one of the coolant drain fittings. So that's that thing there. As with most things on a boat, it's very hard to get to, but a crow's foot wrench will fit it. Oh, that was a failure, can't get to it. But there's one here. And of course it broke off. However, all I need is the size of the hose. Now, this is draining the heat exchanger. Right, so here's the hose side. I believe it's 10mm, but we need to be sure. It's arrived just in front of me. That means he gets the gate. Good timing. Look, we can go through again. Now we need to get the oil filter out. New filter's on, hand tight. There's the old filter. Always got to make sure you have the rubber ring off, because I've been caught with that still on the engine block and wondering why I had a significant oil leak. Right, oil, 3.1 litres plus the volume of the oil filter. So I think we're right. We'll check it now. Finally winning down here, but it's damn frustrating. Oh, it's time for lunch. It may be frustrating, cramped and uncomfortable and painful, but at least it's not raining. It's a beautiful afternoon, calm. High haze, but sunny and no wind. Well, once more into the port engine bay. So this is the drain. So the hose goes over there. It's got no ring to seal it. So I actually got to put a hose clip on the hose. And then maybe we can just twist it with the hose, because it's just about impossible to do it otherwise. You can get pliers on it, but that's about it. Right, we'll see if we can get that back in the block and hand tight. Well, that didn't work because the screw on the hose clamp hits the dipstick tube. Well, let's hope this works. I've taken the hose off the other one and just screwed it in hand tight, because you can actually get to this one. So we're going to use about 45% dilution of coolant. What a watering can for the job. It's apparently self-bleeding, but I'm sure it's slow. Well, that's not self-bleeding. We have to run the engine short bursts to get the circulation pump going. We'll go have afternoon tea and then it's back to the site. Well, the level in the tank is slowly dropping, so we'll top it up again. Right, topped up. Here we have a little repair to do here as it's been dry and finally dried out. I'm just going to protect it with some tape, and look, we can get the truck back under the car. And the same thing on the starboard front crossbeam. So here, that's the mooring bridles that caused these, and I didn't put the rub protection in quite the right place. Now, as I said before, it's always important to check to see if the sealing ring came off. No, it didn't. See, it's still there, fallen down slightly, but you put the filter on top, it's never going to seal. Right, we have enough oil. We need to check it again after we've run it for a little bit. At least I can fit the bucket in this side. It's draining the heat exchanger. Right, servicing done. Just need to check the fluid levels at some stage, and I've even managed to get the intake silencer back on this side. Right, I'm in the starboard engine bay. We're just going to run the engine and then check the oil level once the filter's full. The oil level's a bit hard to see with new oil. There you go, it's between the two notches. Right, now while I'm here, I'm going to add some pressure with a bicycle pump to the accumulator. There's a valve on the bottom. I'm back in the port engine bay. I slightly overfilled it, so we're just taking a bit out. You can see the top end is all nice and shiny. While I got my bicycle pump out behind here, just going to add some pressure. 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 Just going is the hydraulic reservoir for the hydraulic steering, and it runs at pressure. I think I last pumped it up 4 years ago, so we'll add a bit more pressure to it. I believe the idea is that it makes any bubbles smaller, and from the sight glass we're still full. Now that should do for a few more years. So there's the valve. 2 lovely days in a row. Almost think it wasn't winter. Right, I'm up on the truck. The Dyneema nets are laced with Dyneema along 3 sides, but this side's not. And the existing fastening system with the sort of fine mesh is falling apart. So this was on the boat when I got it, so I just swapped it over when I changed the tramps. So we'll take it off. Well, that's this port side undone. We'll head over the other side and we'll do the same thing over here. Hopefully I can get the rest from the top. As one can see, the small mesh is giving up. Oh, that's those off. Next question is, can I make it all look nice and neat? I have some Dyneema to do this. So I've run 8mm Dyneema down to make a new lacing border, and then we'll lace over the top and make a bit of a bundle here. I won't cut any excess net off. Now undo the current lacing and then relace it with 5mm Dyneema. Well, I've unlaced this outside. Now we need to relace it with Dyneema. Right, success. It's supporting me, so that's a start. Less sag, not squeaking anymore when I walk on it. The starboard tramp's done now, and it's nice and firm. Well, we've greased the prop, so we take out the wee screws up here, and that fills the spindles with the blades up. And somewhere, where is it? Oh, there. There's a wee hole to fill the hub. So I've got grease coming out of there. So sail drives are serviced, engines are serviced. One step closer.